Roll.
All right, Shalom Israel. Good to see everybody. Thank you for coming to Wednesday night class. For everybody that's here in person and also for everybody that's online, shout out and shalom to you as well. Hope your families are doing well. Shout out and shalom to Stream of Wisdom, Houston, Texas, Stream of Wisdom, Rochester, New York, Stream of Wisdom, Norfolk, Virginia, and also shout out and shalom to Kawakab, one of our main founders of the Sword of Truth here in San Antonio in 1992, and his congregation down in Guatemala, and also in California, in Georgia, Florida, and shout out and shalom to brothers in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and Detroit, and all over the U.S., and so on and so forth. Shout out and shalom to you as well. This is kind of like a final class of this pretty much this topic right here. It's called a pocket manual for gaining a leadership position. Basically, it's called this because it's just something to keep in your pocket, something to remember. If you're ever going to be in a position or you desire the position of a leader, whether it be to be a father, a mother, a brother, sister, or to pursue leadership positions within the camp or within the church body, like a bishop, a deacon, or an officer, or a captain, or a soldier as a disciple of Christ, things that you got to remember. So this is a third and pretty much might be the final. No, I don't think so. Maybe we got one more aspect on this point, but we kind of want to pick up where we left off at last week and then kind of move on from there. But we want to stay on the same theme. So last week we went to Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 15 and 16. Can you get that, brother?
Ephesians chapter 4, verse 15. But speaking the truth in love.
And what we talked about last week was about methodologies that work and methodologies that don't work pertaining to leadership.
I like how you harped on the extreme between being that underwhelming leader where you're just afraid to speak the truth and afraid to tell
We're going to
someone
get there.
the truth. I love how you went to that angle right there too, because it's a rare angle.
Yeah, it is. And that speaking the truth in love is just the biblical way of leadership.
Okay.
And that's something that needs to be harped on. Because we talked about the ways that work of teaching and guiding sheep, the Most High's flock, and we talked about ways that don't work. We talked about ways that fail. And the way that is a surefire way to work is to do what?
But speaking the truth in love may grow up into him in all things.
So he says, speaking the truth in love, you speak the truth in love as a leader, because you want the person to grow. And that's what's important. Growth is important. Growth is the purpose of why you do what you do. Why you choose to be a leader. You want the subjects, you want the younger ones, you want the Most High's flock. You care nothing more than their development and their growth. Read? No, matter of fact, hold that. Last week we talked about communicating what speaking the truth in love. We talked about communicating accurate, sometimes difficult biblical truths with kindness, compassion, and a focus on the recipient's spiritual growth, rather than just being right. Because, like you said, one of the mentions that we talked about last week was the destructive way to go about leading sheep and teaching the flock and stunning their growth. And that's stunning their growth was we went to Ephesians chapter 6 verse 4. Can another brother read Ephesians chapter 6 verse 4?
I love how you hit both sides that I guess the extremes.
Yeah, because it's not only extreme, but it's a few variables of how people operate when they get into a leadership position that can become a disaster. Yes, the two leadership styles. But Ephesians 6 and 4 is what we went to last week to demonstrate one of them. Read.
Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 4 reads, And ye fathers, provoke not your children to wrath. So
it's about agitating people, picking at people, always being sharp and aggressive, and exasperating the people that is the flock or the young ones that you're teaching, and you're just continually ridiculing them or discouraging them by constantly pointing out their flaws and constantly coming at them in a fashion where you're right, but you're commingling your right way of doing things or your right perspective with an unnecessary emotion called hate. and that style of teaching is not what the Bible wants from a leader. And it's also known as harsh truth. That harsh truth is meaning you're right, but you're hateful. You're right, you're correct in what you're saying, but your delivery has wrath associated with it.
Yeah.
It has malice associated with it. You are right in what you're saying, but it's also has rage associated with it. So all these sensual emotions commingle with leadership is unnecessary for grooming someone in the spirit, in managing spiritual development. And we read this last week. I'll read it one more time. I'll read it in a minute. So that was the first aspect, or that was the first destructive form of leadership styles that you don't want to do as a leader. Whether you're a parent, you don't want to damage a kid's confidence by constantly pointing out their flaws. But finish that in Ephesians chapter 6, verse 4.
Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 4 reads, "And ye fathers, provoke not your children to wrath,
Go ahead.
but bring them up in the nurture."
It says, but bring them up in the what?
Nurture.
In the wrath.
The nurture.
In the nurture.
In the anger.
In the nurture.
Showing them how stupid they are.
In the nurture.
It says the way that you groom somebody and you want to ensure their development and their growth, you have to nurture them. That means it's not about just you being right, more so than it being, how can I speak in a language that's not aggressive, that shows discontent or a bothersome nature, or you're inconveniencing me. How can I deliver this word to you or this instruction to you where you can receive it without my emotion? He says with the nurture and what?
But bring them up in the nurture in an admonition of the Lord.
Okay, so it has to be the Lord's way of doing things, not just how we want to do things. We want to teach people based upon how we see fit, and how we see fit isn't always correct. It isn't always right, because a lot of times we teach with emotion. We teach with a chip on our shoulder. We teach with inconvenience. We teach with you're bothering me. How come you don't got this right now? You're plaguing me with the fact that you're slow. You're plaguing me with the fact that I got to slow down and constantly explain things to you. So that's not how you want to groom somebody.
I'm getting tired of saying the same thing over and over again.
Yep. Exactly. So that's not the way to do it. And the second style, or the second method, is it's compromised truth. And that definition, does anybody have that definition from last week?
I remember the roundabout. I didn't write them down.
If you got it, if you remember it.
Roundabout was just a person that is, I guess, a little timid to tell someone the reality of their situation for fear of, I guess, losing their line of communication, or for fear of losing that person's approval.
Oh, close. Yeah, close, but more so losing the benefits.
Oh, wow.
More so losing the benefits that I get from this person. Anybody got it? Well, if not, I'll read it again. It's no problem. So the second aspect of leadership that you want to stay away from that doesn't really work. One is being over-aggressive, angry, malicious within your teaching, although you are correct. The second one is also watering down the truth. It's called compromised truth. It's when you're being kind to somebody, but you're untruthful.
You gave a good example of a person that had a lot of bread, came in the congregation, and then you want to put that person to the top of the congregation, or you want to meet and have connection with that person because y'all can clean up together, or
yeah,
you
may have plans with the benefits of what that person brings to the table. That's what we talked about last week, and so and we want to kind of finish on that aspect and explain a little bit more in detail about what that is. So that compromised truth is being kind to somebody. You're being nice to somebody. You're being friendly to somebody, but you're also not telling them what's wrong with them. People don't grow that way. I don't want to hurt your feelings, or I don't want to let you down, or I don't want to lose our friendship, although I'm watching you do something that's unfruitful and not beneficial for your development. but I'm too afraid to tell you because I may lose the advantage that I have with you, or I may lose the comforts that I have with you, or I may lose the resources that I have that I'm getting from you, or it's a matter of convenience. So that compromised truth is what we want to kind of dive into a little bit more.
Oh, we didn't finish it.
No, we didn't. We didn't finish. We didn't finish it. We just kind of rushed through it. We just kind of rushed through it.
There was a lot in there, though.
It really is. It is.
Because the idea of there is an idea of compromise that's involved. Because what if I say the wrong thing, or what if I do the wrong thing, or what if this person wasn't ready for it? There's a bunch of question marks in a person's mind when they're in this mode.
Yeah.
And I think they don't know how to handle the question marks.
But you know what? I don't want to let them down. I want to let them down softly.
Yeah.
But sometimes not telling people the truth, you're hindering their development.
Yeah.
You're not allowing them to see what changes they got to make because we walk on eggshells with people sometimes. I'm too afraid to say the truth. And so that compromised truth doesn't help anybody. You know, so that it's a balance. Let's read this right here. Follow page 691.
Come. For in real truth, flattery.
It says, for in real truth, flattery, what else?
And adulation.
Adulation. Flattery is when you're hyping somebody up. Adulation is when you're praising somebody in excess. You're over complimenting somebody.
Yeah.
You're just over complimenting somebody. Oh man, the way you dress. I just love the way you dress. You inspire me by the way you dress. It's like a shirt, like a jean and some t-shirts. But it's just like I'm just over hyping it. I'm just boosting you up and pumping your head up and gassing you up, and that's what adulation is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's too excess. It's too extreme, and it doesn't merit. I'm not wearing something that merits you to stop what you're doing and call out what I'm doing. Like what I'm doing is so phenomenal.
Is it hollow? Is it kind of hollow?
It is hollow, but why would somebody overpraise somebody?
Manipulation.
Exactly. There's something behind it. There's a string attached.
Taking them all.
Yeah.
You're going to have the most basic pair of shoes,
Yeah.
the most basic outfit, just to get their attention.
Yeah, you know, because people want to feel good about their choices.
Yeah.
I want to feel good about the choice I made to go outside, what I put on to go outside.
Yeah.
And when somebody notices it, somebody recognizes it, but somebody can use that idea that I'm looking for that attention, and I appreciate that attention. Somebody can use that to your disadvantage.
Yeah.
They can manipulate you through it. So, but usually that's what it is.
Huh.
So it says for in real truth, read.
Flattery.
What else?
And adulation. And hypocrisy.
And what?
And hypocrisy.
Go ahead.
In which what is uttered is at variance with the sentiments which are really felt.
It says, and all these things, flattery, adulation, and hypocrisy, it says are in variance, which means they're in disagreement with the what?
With the sentiments which are really felt.
It doesn't match how that person really feels. So, flattery, adulation, and hypocrisy is a phoniness that people will walk with and to gain somebody, but it's not really how they feel. And that's that compromised truth. And as a leader, you can't walk like that. You can't teach people like that. You can't bypass the truth or not tell them the truth, because usually there's a string attached and there's something that they want.
But people will say, I'm just being nice.
Yeah. They could say that. They could say, I'm just being nice. But being nice for what purpose? You got to analyze it. Being nice for what? Read this right here, page 634.
Gun. Not but what those who injure one treacherously.
Hold on. So it says he's given a comparison about what's really bad. What's really bad? Somebody that openly does you dirty and tells you your problem to your face and let you know where you're wrong at, or slight you out in the open. He's explaining what's really bad. Read it again.
It says, not but what those who injure one. That's interesting. Those who injure one treacherously.
It says, read it again.
Not but what those who injure one treacherously.
Treacherously meaning it was by evil design, and I had an evil intent. Read on.
Are even more wicked.
It says, are even more wicked. Read.
Than those who oppose one openly.
Go ahead.
Since it is possible to repel the one without difficulty.
It says one is more low down and dirty than the other. Somebody that does something behind your back is worse than somebody that does something to you in the open or tells you the truth out in the open. That somebody that will lie to you, that will blow smoke up your behind, somebody that will gain you is worse than somebody that will tell you what's wrong with you out to your face or do you dirty to your face. He says because one, you can oppose them because you see it. Read that part.
Since it is possible to repel the one without difficulty.
It says because you can see somebody's angle. You can see somebody's intention.
Yeah.
That compromised truth, you really can't see where they're coming from.
Yeah.
That harsh truth, it's not good either, but at least you can see where they're coming from. At least you can see that this person has a desire to tell you something that you may not want to hear. But that compromised truth, I'll tell you whatever. I'll tell you whatever you want to hear.
It's very scary, though.
It's dangerous.
That's scary because if you put your trust in that kind of personality, you might not grow for a long time because you're never getting direct information that you need. So you're waiting for a person to be honest.
Yep. And that process may never happen.
Yeah.
Read.
As they display their hostility without disguise.
It says, because some people display their hostility without what?
Disguise.
And that's the harsh truth. That's somebody that gives it to you raw. That's somebody that tells you to your face what the problem is, and they say it is what it is. Take it or leave it, however you want to take it. This is the truth, and I'm not going back on what I'm telling you. So you have to swallow it however you want to swallow it, deal with it, whatever you're going to do with it. That's better than the other person that's going to give you that compromised truth. Both can be damaging, but one is better than the other. The compromised truth is like this, read.
But the evil-mindedness of the others is difficult to detect.
It says, but when somebody's giving you compromised truth,
Scary.
it's difficult to what?
Detect.
It's difficult to detect, meaning I don't know where this person's coming from. They're giving me flattery. They're giving me adulation, over excessive praise, unmerited accolades.
As long as you're benefiting them, though.
Yeah, but as long as you benefit them.
Because there's a...
Or you're about to benefit them.
If you're about to benefit them or you are benefiting them, you're great. But if you're not benefiting them, then you might get a different personality.
You may see the real person.
You may see the real guy.
You may see the real person. Because one can be seen easily and the other one not. Read that part again.
But the evil-mindedness of the others is difficult to detect and hard to unveil.
It says, and hard to what?
Unveil.
Well, yeah, which one would you rather have? Would you rather have somebody to tell you the truth? Because, well, both styles are not comfortable. But at least if somebody was to tell you the truth, even though you don't like it and it's hard, it may be hard, it's a hard pill to swallow, it's still better than the person that ain't going to tell you nothing and tell you, yeah, everything's cool, we're cool. You don't know where this person's coming from. You can't read what their intention is. Read.
Being like the conduct of men on the stage.
He says, but those people are like men that have the conduct of being a person on stage. What do you call a person that's on stage?
Actor.
That's an actor.
Yeah, that's being out there.
Yeah, that's an actor.
And the winner is.
That's a play actor.
Yeah.
So the play actor is harder to detect. He says they're like a person that's on stage. Read.
Who are clothed in a dress.
He said they're clothed in a dress. Read on.
Which does not belong to them.
And they're clothed with a dress that does not belong to them. What does that mean? They're in a disguise. They're wearing a prop.
Yeah.
They're wearing that's the costume. That's not who they really are. So the compromised truth is a person that will wear a disguise, not tell you what their intention is, tell you whatever you want to hear, and what they're telling you doesn't really match how they feel. You can't detect that person. That's more dangerous and that's more wicked than a person that just tell it to you raw and that tell it to you straight. Both aspects are not good, but one is worse than the other. That deceptive person that's hidden in their agenda, hidden in their intentions, wearing a costume, playing a role, is the person you got to be aware of.
Is that serpent-like?
Very much so. Very much so. So, give me this part right here. Say it again.
Where are you reading from?
Follow page 634. We read it last week, but we're just gonna continue where we kind of left off at. Read.
We're reading that. Sorry.
Right here where it says for there is a kind.
But there's a kind of preeminence and superior authority, which I had almost said pervades every part of life, varying only in respect of magnitude and quantity.
Read.
For what the king of the city is.
It says for what the king of a city is. What's the king of a city? That's like the mayor. The mayor. The mayor is the king of the city, so to speak. Right? It says for what the king of the city is, that's a leadership position. What else?
That also is the first man in a village.
It says that's also like the village chief. That's also a leadership position. What else?
And the master of a house.
That's also a leadership position.
A master of a house.
A master of a house.
Anybody could be that, right?
A chief of a village, or the king of a city, which is the mayor. All these are leadership positions. What else?
A physician among the sick.
And a doctor among the sick is also what?
Leadership position.
A leadership position.
They're like a counselor? In
No,
modern times?
not necessarily a counselor, but a real doctor.
Okay.
A physician amongst a real doctor. Somebody that has the knowledge and skill of medicine. Read.
A general in his camp.
A general in his camp, which is also what?
Leadership
A
position.
leadership position. All these are what? Leadership positions. All these are leadership positions. What else?
An admiral with the respect to his crew and to his passengers.
An admiral who is in control of a fleet of ships or a ship in respect to his passengers. He's in a leadership position. What do all these people have in common? The king of a city, the village chief, the general of an army, the physician, and the man of his house. What do they all have in common? They're all leaders, but what else? Read on.
And a captain of a ship in regard to the merchant vessels and transports. And a pilot among common sailors, every one of whom has power to make things either better or worse.
They all have power to do what?
Make things better or worse.
So what do they have? What are these leadership in a leadership position? What do you have?
Authority.
You have authority. You have authority in a leadership position. So if anybody that's in a leadership position, they have authority, they have to be conscious about how they're dispensing that authority. You have to be conscious about what style of leadership are you portraying with your authority. Are you giving people the harsh truth, which is not really biblical? It's not really Christ. Or are you giving people compromised truth because you fear to gain something in return? What style of leadership are you going to display? You have power as a leader. So you have to ask yourself, how and what is going to be the method that I choose to use that best suits the subjects?
That's true.
That best suits the people that I'm leading. What best suits them? Read on.
But they ought to wish to conduct themselves.
It says, but the ones that are the more prosperous in their position, read.
But they ought to wish to conduct themselves in everything for the best.
It says they're supposed to conduct themselves with the knowledge that I have to do what's best for not for me, but for who?
For the flock.
For the flock, for the people, whoever I'm in charge of. I got to do what's best for them. They're the focus. If I'm the captain of a ship, the safety of the passengers is the focus. If I'm the king of a city, the people's quality of life is the focus. If I'm the man of the house, The growth and maturity of the household should be my focus. It's still a consideration that goes beyond just me being an authority. I got to look at how I dispense this authority. How am I distributing this authority? Read.
And the best is to use all their energies.
And it says, and if you want to be the best king of a city, village chief, sailor of a ship, the
First man of the village.
first man of the village, the physician over the sick, the pilot, whatever. If you want to be the best, then what would you do?
And the best is to use all their energies to assist people and not to injure them.
It says, I do everything in my power to assist people and not to what?
Injure them.
That's if you can adopt that mentality, whether you're from whatever rank, whatever position of a leader, whether you're a grandma, grandpa, a mother, a father, a sister, a brother, whether you're a boss, a team leader, a supervisor, whatever, if you have any position of power over anybody else, the best mind frame you want to take is, I'm going to do everything in my power to assist them versus what?
Injure.
Versus injuring them. That's what the mind frame of a leader should have, is that it's about the people. It's not about me. It's not about, I could drive the car however I want, and if it's raining outside, and I could just whip my car because it's mine and I own it, and I don't give a damn about how you feel about my driving because it's my car.
That's not leadership.
Is that a quality? I don't even know why you talk. It's my car. You don't like how I drive? Go get your own car. Is that a person that has the right mentality in leadership?
Wow.
Is that the correct pilot's mentality? If you're scared, go to church. Is that the right? Is that the pilot's or the king of a village or the village chief? Is that his mentality? I could care less about how you feel. I'm callous to how you feel. It's about what I feel. That's not a good leader. Those are not leadership qualities. Read on.
For this is to act in imitation of the Most High.
It says, for a person that's extremely considerate about the flock, he says it's compared to imitating who?
The Most High.
Read on.
Since he also has the power to do either good or evil.
But what does the Most High do?
But his inclination causes him only to do good.
It says, so his inclination is first primarily to do good. So as leaders, we can either imitate the Most High and consider what's best for the flock, or we could use two different styles of leadership that wreck and stunt the development and growth of the flock.
Can I read this definition of injure?
Come.
There's a couple good ones. It says injure. It says to damage or lessen the value of. Then it says to impair or diminish, to annoy as of happiness. And then it says also here, it says to hurt.
So I'm gonna take your happiness away.
Yeah, it has to do with your actions are diminishing the joyful state in Christ. This person has a joy in Christ, but your actions are oppressing their joy in Christ, because that happens. A person making bad decisions and people have to get affected by it. It lessens their Hebrews like experience. So it says as to affect their happiness. Then it also says to lessen the value of. If you said earlier about assisting,
Yep.
if I'm not assisting you, then you're not growing. And if you're not growing in value. If you're not getting the assistance you need spiritually, then guess what? You're stagnant, which means you're diminishing in value to the Father.
Yep.
So I love what you're saying. It actually fits the definition perfect. And then it says to injure rights. People have rights in Christ. They have rights.
That means I violate your rights, even your humanity, just to treat you like a person.
Yeah.
I violate you because I could care less about you.
Yeah.
I violate your feelings. I violate your thought process.
Yeah.
I violate you physically.
Yeah.
So I'm in violation. And so if I'm a good leader, everything I do is made to look at what assists the flock better, what makes them stronger, what makes them sharper, what builds them up, what aids them, and what assists them more than what assists me. So we finish this right here in 691. It says, but without disguise.
Okay. But without any disguise, and in a genuine, honest spirit of
It says
truth.
with no disguise. So you're not teaching people or leading people with compromised truth. You're not wearing no costume. You're not pretending to feel something way you don't. You're not trying to get something from anybody. You're actually there for the raw benefit of those individuals that are the flock of the Most High, that are His sheep. Read.
And in a genuine, honest spirit of truth.
It says, and you operate as a leader in a genuine, honest spirit of what?
Truth.
Of truth. Go ahead.
To speak with freedom.
It says, and to speak with freedom. Read.
What is dictated by a clear conscience.
It says, where I come from is what?
A clear
Clear conscience.
conscience.
Am I coming from my wrath when I talk to these individuals? To the flock? Am I coming from my anger? Am I coming from emotion? For you piss me off. Am I coming from anything personal, some personal agitation when I talk to the flock? Is that how I treat the subjects?
No.
I'm coming from a place of hate. No. You have to come from a place where you have a clear, if you want the people to grow, if you want the flock to grow, you got to be clear. You have to have a clear conscience, and it can't be stained with your emotion, your wrath, or your rage, or stained with your deception because I want to get something from this person.
Come. Does this apply also? I think we had harped a little bit last class about the spirit years ago that said, hey, you know what? You don't have to take a soldier test to be a soldier, right? So it's almost as if you grow, it affects me. I'm envying your growth. Or you pass the stage faster than I pass that stage. Would it be, I think it is negative, but would it be an element to be conscious of not to, if the sheep are good at certain things, not to have offense to that?
Yeah, well, when that, I don't remember that being said in particular, but I know we've said it many times in class, where somebody will try to damage your development by giving you bad advice.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to
A bad advice that goes contrary to the advice of development and growth.
Because if I give you the correct advice, you may surpass me in understanding and perspective. And I don't want that.
Well,
That's a negative perspective too.
Exactly. And we'll get to that too, because that's in this class as well.
Okay.
That's in this class as well. But let's go to where we started off at. I think you had the first verse. It was in Ephesians chapter 4, verse 15 and 16.
God. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 15. But speaking the truth in love may grow up into Him in all things.
So the style that we want to the style of leadership that we want to best promote the development of the flock is the one that does what? It's that I'm giving people the truth in what?
The truth in love.
In love. Now I know we read this last week. Let me get it. I know we read it last week. It says this came out of the Matthew Henry. It says, those who would persuade must make it evident that they sincerely love those whom they would persuade. Bitter words and hard usage never did nor ever will convince, much less persuade anybody. It says, so if you're trying to convince somebody to make a decision for development, you have to come from a place of love. You have to teach from a perspective of love, and the said subjects must also feel that you actually love them also. It's important that they know that you love them. Not that, because some people will say, well, you haven't given me no money, so you ain't showed me that you love me. I'm not saying that people's falsified ideas about what love is, but they have to know that you love them, not in a way that they want to quantify love, but knowing that they're receiving love, that you actually care about them. Because if every time I speak to you and I got a frown on my face, every time I check you or every time I correct you and I got a mean mug about me, every time I tell you something that's edifying to you, I do it with an upside down smile. I show extreme disappointment in you. If I'm reflecting that type of countenance to you when I talk to you, are you ever going to think I care about you?
No.
Are you ever going to think I love you? Or if you're in a situation that requires my advice, but because I don't want to step on your toes, because we got plans tonight, we're going to go to dinner tonight, and I don't want to mess up. I don't want to mess nothing up.
Yeah.
And you ask me, well, how do I look in that dress? And I'm gonna say, you look phenomenal. You look outstanding.
That's the one. That's the desperate.
That's the one. But you knew it wasn't. That's not gonna help that person either. So what do you do when what best suits the person that you're leading is that they have to understand that you're coming from a place of love. That's very important to persuade anybody to change, anybody to embrace repentance, anybody to embrace an alternative idea of living. They have to know that you care. So it can't be out of anger, disappointment, and it can't be out of manipulation. Those two styles of leadership don't work. All right, I think that's pretty clear on that point. He says Ephesians 4:15 again.
But speaking the truth in love may grow up into him in all things.
What method works the best when it comes to teaching or being a leader?
Speaking the truth in love.
Showing that you love people, telling people the truth in love, not with your emotion and not with your deception. That's the best way to let people know that, you know what, you should receive this advice. It has to come from a pure place, very pure place. 1 Peter chapter 5 verse 3.
Somebody didn't like that.
Already?
Who wouldn't like that?
Yeah.
I got 3-pointer.
Yeah, it's early, man.
It's 8:11 now.
Man, we didn't really got
That's the fastest stuff that we've had.
That's Wemby. That's Wemby shooting threes.
Yeah.
Against the Lakers the other night.
Yeah.
1 Peter
First Peter chapter 5 verse 3.
verse 3.
Yep.
Neither as being lords over God's heritage.
It says neither being lords over God's inheritance. We talked about that in detail last week. We're not going to go back over it. But being a lord is about being self-serving, over the Most High's inheritance, where everything is based upon the leader receiving honors, the leader receiving accolades or benefits or accommodations. We're not going to go over that again this week. I think we explained that in part 2. So he says what?
Neither as being lords over God's heritage.
Yeah.
But being ensamples.
It says the best way to lead is to be a what?
Ensamples.
Being an ensample also is very effective when it comes to leadership. It's very effective. What is an ensample? It's a mold for imitation. It's like a template. If you want the best for the flock, don't just tell people what to do. Show them and demonstrate it in your actions. Don't just be mad because people can't live up to a standard. Be that standard that you want them to live up to. So when you want somebody to do something, it's best that you lay down the foundation and a demonstration that they can see it. Because we know the scripture said the Jews require what?
Sign.
The Jews require a sign. So who's going to be the sign? Who's going to be the sign of change? Who's going to be the sign of charity? Who's going to be the sign of forgiveness? Who's going to be the sign of patience? Who's going to be the sign of meekness? So if you're going to be a good quality leader, you have to demonstrate those virtues and those attributes that you're trying to teach. Otherwise, you will be hypocritical. Otherwise, you'll be hypocritical in your stance, where you will tell people what to do, but you won't do it yourself. That's the design of a hypocrite. So being an ensample, being a mold for imitation, is very effective. It's a very effective method when it comes to steering people to Christ. People need ensamples. They need molds. They need models.
Wow.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. It says, example. It says, that which is proposed.
Ensample.
Example. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That which is proposed or is proper to be imitated. Then it says, one whose conduct is worthy of imitation.
It says, one whose conduct is worthy of what?
Of imitation.
So guess what you're going to have to do when you want somebody to be better in life? You got to be better. You just can't be this voice box of Oh, you did that again, huh? Yo, you want to start off the week like this, huh? Is that how we start off the week? We started off on a bad note. That's how we starting this week off. So, or are you going to be an example of what it is that you're trying to demonstrate or tell people to do? The best way to teach people is to be an example of it. That's one of the most effective ways of getting people to do something. They got to see it in you first. A lot of times people are waiting really to see you do it in order to say, okay, I'll try it. I'll see if it works. You ever notice how you yelling back and forth, the tempers are flaring, it's getting loud, and then you take the low and say, you know what, I apologize, forget it, don't even worry about it, you're right, I'm wrong. What does that other person do? No, I apologize, you're right, I'm wrong.
Like, what is this?
Like, I said, what is it? You want to mirror me now? Because I said I'm wrong first and I apologize?
It's fine, bro. It's fine. It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. No, don't worry about it. No, you don't worry about it.
It's okay.
Yeah, you don't worry about it. It's like, now you want to use mine? I just told you let it go. I'm cool. Let it go. You win. You win. No, you win. Don't worry about it. Now, what do people need to see usually? They copy. People copy what you do.
That's true.
So when you escalate things and you don't know how to bring it down, they're gonna escalate it. They're not gonna know how to bring it down. They're gonna mirror you. And you get mad. We get mad when people mirror us too. Especially when kids mirror parents. We get super mad. They think it's funny. But it's not. We get super mad. We start yelling, they start yelling. Then we get mad because you disrespectful. Where they get it from? Why are they disrespectful? Men do it. Do not men do it to women? Husbands and wives? Do not husbands act a certain way to wives and then mad when they duplicate what you do? I know it bothers me. I don't know about anybody else, but I don't like it. What makes you get the right to, you can talk like that? Well, you know what? I laid the foundation. Or your kids say cuss words, then you get mad. What? Slap the hell out you. Why are you saying that? Well, I hear you saying it. You say it on the phone. You say it on the phone while they're in the back seat. And you wonder why they say it at school, in their classroom. Where they get it from? Get it from you. But you know what the best teacher is? Being an example. The best teacher is let me be the change and alter my conduct so that other people can model and imitate my conduct. My speech, especially with the speech. If I change how I talk to people, and I'm mad that they don't change how they talk, they got to see it first. They got to see it work. They got to see it work in action. They got to see it live in action. They got to see how you quench an argument. Where the scriptures say, soft answer turneth away wrath. People don't believe it until they see it. I've seen a customer service situation that went bad, and because the right virtue was applied, the whole customer service scenario switched to the other person's favor because they chose to apply what works. And then you know what? When people see it, when they see what works, they take note of it. Damn, a soft answer does turn away wrath. I'm gonna try that next time. Because normally I pop off. Normally I don't let nothing slide. Well, not letting something slide get you dead. Sorry to hear that, but one of the worst shootouts in Chicago just happened where the young lady had her little 13-month-old baby in the back seat, and she went online. She was dissing somebody, and somebody was dissing her, and she said, "Well, let me go ahead and post this right here online of a deceased family member."
Oh, I heard about that.
And then within days, some goons ran up on her, shot the whole car up with 50-something rounds. Luckily, the baby didn't get hit, but mother got killed and the boyfriend got shot in the butt. But all from what? I don't know how to let a soft answer turn away wrath. I never knew that could work. If that young lady knew, that little young 20, I think she was 26, the 26-year-old woman, and the police had the baby. I think the boyfriend ran off somewhere, but the police was holding the baby.
That's crazy.
If she only knew the power that a soft answer turneth away wrath. Who knew that would be so that could work so tremendously where it could actually save your life? Who knew that? But people got to see it. You want to teach it to people. You want to show them the power of it. Well, become that. Become what you read in the Bible. And if you choose to do so, you'll watch people start making changes. But usually they need somebody to imitate. They're not gonna. You can't expect the sheep to make changes first, just because you told them so. Just because you told somebody to do something, even though it was right, they're not gonna listen. But when they see you do it, then they're more likely to listen. And that's what separates leadership styles. So the best style is to be an ensample. Read.
1 Peter chapter 5, verse 3. Neither as being lords over God's heritage, but being ensamples to the flock. And when the chief shepherd shall appear, ye shall receive a crown of glory that fadeth not away.
Why will we receive a crown of glory that won't fade? Go to Mark chapter 10, verse 45.
Now Mark 10 and 45. For even the Son of Man came not to be ministered unto, but to minister, and to give his life a ransom for many.
And so why will Christ give you a crown of glory? Because who do you pattern yourself after?
Christ.
Who do you look like?
Christ.
Who do you behave like?
Christ.
So that's why you get a crown of glory. Because you've patterned yourself after him. You've made Christ you made yourself a spitting image of Christ in your speech, in your conduct, your behavior, your mannerisms, how you operate, how you deal with people. So that's why you get a crown of glory, because you've made yourself a miniature version of Christ. How do we know this is true? Go to Ephesians chapter 5, verse 1 and 2. Why is that so important?
Ephesians chapter 5, verse 1. Be therefore followers of the Most High as dear children.
It says do what?
Be ye therefore followers of the Most High as dear children.
Who are we supposed to be following? Who are we supposed to be imitating?
Most High.
The Most High in Christ. We can't see the Most High, but Christ laid down a foundation. All his works are already written. So he says we're supposed to be like children following our parents. Read on.
And walk in love.
Stop. How did Christ walk?
In love.
Did he walk in hate?
In love.
Did he walk in anger?
Walk in love.
Did he walk in wrath?
In love.
Did he walk in emotion?
In love.
Did he walk in you getting on my nerves?
In love.
He said Christ walked in what?
In love.
So what's the expectation for us?
Walk in love.
What's the leadership style we're supposed to be putting on display?
Walk in love.
It says because Christ walked in love. So that means I got to show the flock that I love them. And the best way to do that is subject yourself to be the model for imitation. Put yourself in the posture of a servant. Be more consumed about their development than your own.
Yeah.
Read.
And walk in love as Christ also hath loved us.
Because who laid down the first pattern?
Christ.
He did. He was selfless. It wasn't about what benefited him. It was about his life benefited the flock. So if I can pattern my life and my form of leadership after Christ in love and also by example and by placing myself as a servant and also putting myself as a ransom for their good, read.
And hath given himself for us an offering and sacrifice to the Most High for a sweet smelling savor.
So whose turn is it now? It's our turn. Are you going to give yourself as a sacrifice to the people that follow you? Or are you going to give yourself as a sacrifice and a sweet smelling savior as an offering to the Most High for the people that look up to you? Or is it about your way? Or is it about what pleases you? Or is it about what makes you happy? Or is it about what you can't stand and what gets on your nerves, and what you hate about people? Well, everybody has a choice and an option to conduct themselves however they wish. But according to the scriptures, the template has already been laid down. The example has already been demonstrated. So if there's any other method of leadership that we're trying to apply, if it ain't Christ, so that imitation, that model, that mold is already formed. We should be looking at Christ to guide the sheep, teach the flock, demonstrate what it is to be humble, to be meek, to be lowly, to forgive, to be patient. All this is demonstrated already in the Bible by Christ. That's why when he comes back, we get the crown of glory, because we look just like him. We've imitated his lifestyle. We imitated his conduct. Go to John chapter 3, verse 30. Just on this point.
Come.
St. John chapter 3 and verse 30 reads. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
He must increase, but I must decrease.
He said he must what?
Increase.
So even John the Baptist was an awesome prophet. He was one of the greatest prophets born of a woman. That's what Christ said. But even John the Baptist and his teachings and how powerful of a teacher he was, how great of a prophet he was, how strong of a visionary he was, how appropriate and just he was. Even John said what?
He must increase, but I must decrease.
Even John recognized a better template. Regardless of how strong John was and how powerful he was mighty. He was Elijah reincarnated, if you read Matthew chapter 11. He had the spirit of Elijah reincarnated. But even he had to yield to the best example. Even he had to say, Christ does it better than me. His way is more superior than mine. If John the Baptist, as great of a prophet as he was, could recognize a better mold, a better template, and a better way of doing things, why shouldn't we?
Great point.
Why shouldn't we? He said, man, my way is antiquated. John said, you know what? When it comes to example, y'all better all follow him. His way, his method of leadership, his example is better than mine. It's greater than mine. Let me follow that. Y'all need to follow that. That's why John said this. He could recognize a superior way of leadership. Can we recognize a superior way of leadership that works? I hope so. Because even John, being as great as he was, he could recognize it. I just hope we could. Let that go, and let's go to 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 15.
Second Corinthians chapter 12, verse 15.
Read that.
And I would very gladly spend and be spent for you.
So what we read this last week, what is Paul saying? Paul's saying it's not about me. Paul says, I really don't, I'm irrelevant. I'll exhaust myself, I'll deplete myself, I'll do whatever's necessary for the flock so that the flock could gain, so that flock can increase. He said, I will gladly do what?
I will very gladly spend and be spent for you. Though the more abundantly I love you, the less I be loved.
Why is this important in the Bible? What is the Most High? What is the Most High? What is the Most High? What has he taught Paul that we need to understand? Say it again. Yes. And what is he explaining in that last part of this verse? Read that last part one more time.
Though the more abundantly I love you, the less I be loved.
Why is that true? Why would the Most High do that or allow that to where you can deplete yourself and exhaust yourself for the sake of other people and you really not getting much in return? Yes, sir.
And so he simply he wants to teach us not to expect anything back. We always expect something in return. Do it for free. Don't expect nothing back. That's real love.
Right.
That he's trying to show us.
Right. Exactly. What he's showing us is a better way of leadership where you don't really receive much in return. And the more you lay down yourself for the sake of other people, the less you actually receive. There's a valuable lesson within this verse. It's an extremely valuable lesson in this verse. You know what the Most High is sustaining? Quality control. He's sustaining quality control. And I'll explain that in a second. So, and I'll explain it. Matter of fact, go to Galatians chapter 4, verse 12. Read Galatians chapter 4, verse 12. And I'll explain it even more clearly in just a second.
What? Galatians chapter 4, verse 12. Brethren, I beseech you, be as I am.
He says, brethren, I beseech you, what?
Be as I am.
Paul's saying, listen, brethren, please imitate yourself after me. Pattern yourself after me. Use me as a mold for imitation. Use me as an example. Operate like I operate. Exhaust yourself, spin yourself like I spin myself. And the more I love, the less I'm loved.
Yeah.
So he's saying, duplicate this pattern after me. Take what I'm showing you and use it and live it. Read.
Brethren, I beseech you, be as I am, for I am as ye are.
He says, because I'm nobody special. He said, I'm as what?
I am as ye are.
I'm no better than you. I don't put myself on a pedestal. I'm no different than you. Read on.
Ye have not injured me at all.
What is Paul saying? What does it mean that when you injure somebody? You do what? You offend them. What is Paul saying at the sheep? What is Paul saying to the sheep?
Ye have not injured me at all.
Paul is explaining that he's not offended at the sheep. You know how that feels when the more you love and the less that you get love? What do most people do?
So I get offended.
They get what?
They get offended.
And why do they get offended? Why the more I pour my heart out to somebody and the less I receive in return, why does that bother me so much?
It exposes them.
It exposes what?
Whatever the teacher may be speaking about, and it exposes them. And once it pulls their card, they may be offended by what this person is saying. I think that happens a lot in family. Family's the same way. There's a lot of situations where a family will dish you quicker than a person that you don't even know.
Right. What you got?
It doesn't meet their expectations.
Say it again.
It doesn't meet their expectations.
Then what is their expectations then?
To get something back. Then if I do for you, you're going to do it.
And if I do for you, you better do for me. You know what the Most High is doing? He's killing that. He's killing that thought process. That if I had done something for you, you better damn well do something in return. Paul is killing that. He's killing that idea because you know who has that idea? We do. We have that idea. You owe me. Do you know what level of inconvenience I put myself in to help you? You know how much of a setback it was for me to go out of my way to help you? That's why Paul is clearing this up when he says, I'm not offended at you at all. You ain't offended me. Paul has already accepted the fact that the more he gives, the less going to come back in return. The more he loves, the more he going to see love. You know who hasn't perfected that? We haven't perfected that. Yes, sir.
That means that you have to go in with the mentality of not being loved and showing more love without gaining anything back in return.
In order for the flock to grow, you have to accept that it's going to be one-sided.
It's like the physician. You go to the doctor, you tell them what's wrong with you, and once they give you the prescription or the treatment, you say, "Thanks, doctor." You go on your way. You don't show them no love.
Yeah.
So it's really the mind of a physician.
Yeah.
And then you go back to them again.
You know the physician dude. He didn't work 3 days straight with little sleep, and he got a pager. He been on call all day, and he done delivered 3 babies, and he got to show up at the hospital at 4 o'clock in the morning, and he got a surgery at 8 o'clock in the morning. And you know he'll get his sleep. He'll get his sleep later once the job is done. Once the babies are delivered, once the livers are stitched up, then he'll get his sleep. Because you know what he understands? If I take this job, it's not about me, it's about the people. It's selfless. Same thing with nurses. Nurses understand that. They say nurses, they purposely weed you out of nursing school. Because they only want you to be there because you love it. Because if you don't love it, you're going to waste your time and you're going to waste other people's time that go to the hospital. You're going to waste you're going to waste your time, and you're going to waste the hospital time, and you're going to waste the sick people time. Because you're going to do it with a grudge. Because it doesn't really pay enough to do 7 consecutive days straight at 12 to 16 hours to 18 hours a day. And you're still on call too. And you got to deal with everybody cussing you out because they're sick. Ah! You stupid!
Leads to abuse.
If you ever been in a hospital, you had a sick family. You move anybody, you touch anybody, everything hurts, and they got to do their job. They got to take the cuffs, and they got to put the cuffs on your arm. They got to check blood pressure. They got to give IV fluids. If your vein drops and becomes no good, they got to poke you and find a new vein. Sometimes they got to go in your neck, and it's just the whole process is just making you feel bad, and then they catch all the slack in the process of trying to help you. Well, as being a leader, you kind of anticipate that the flock are going to come at me a certain way, but I can't be bothered by them. I can't be bothered for the fact that it's one-sided. That's all Paul is explaining. You had your hand up?
Yeah, if everyone feels underappreciated, because anyone really feels genuinely underappreciated, we're all like giving and not feeling like giving.
Say it louder so I want the camera to hear you.
If everyone's feeling underappreciated, is anyone like really not being appreciated? If we all give our all, or say we give our all and don't feel like we give it back, then
Well, there's people that do things for ulterior motives, and they do things for reward and benefit. And if they get their reward, if they get their palms greased, if they get paid for what they want, what they think they're worth, if they get the reward in return, then they feel like there's my value. I feel like I was valued in this because I was compensated a certain way. But if I'm not compensated a certain way, usually the mind goes down the drain. Because what we hate, wasting time. What do we hate? Wasting money. What do we hate? Wasting affection. I put my heart into the situation, and look what I get in return. All those things are valuable to us. But everything's people sustain different values. People have different value systems. Sometimes it is time. I wasted my time. I could care less about the money. I'll get the money back. But I can't get my time back. Or I wasted my money because that's all I had. And I was low. And I depleted myself. And nothing came in return. Or I wasted my energy. I wasted my energy with you. I could have been giving that energy to something else that would have paid some dividends or brought some resources in return. Different people have different values, but people have things that they'll say, okay, well, that's a breaking point for me. What Paul is doing, he's eliminating the breaking point. What he's doing is eliminating the finish line. What he's doing is eliminating the ringing of the bell to say I quit. Paul is eliminating all that. What he's saying is, no matter what y'all put me through, I'm not offended at y'all. What does that mean? That means I'm dedicated to love you no matter how bad you are as a person. Who can do that? Who wants to do that? I'd rather say that better. Who want to do that? You gotta want to be like Christ, and you gotta put on Christ in order to have the capacity to do that. To just have one-sided friendships, to have one-sided relationships, one-sided companionship. Man, you know how much that sucks.
That's hard. It's hard.
That's what chat lines are for. That's what friend groups are for. They all talk about how bad men are. friend groups to talk about how bad women are. They get on these chat lines and they get on these blogs and vlogs, and they just spill their beans about how sick people are and how they were mistreated. Oh, girl, go ahead, girl. I know that's right, girl. You need to get your confidence back, girl. You need to get your confidence back. I know, but you can't let nobody stand on your head like that and treat you like that. Yeah, you're venting. Or there's men groups too that bond over the fact that we got similar disgust of being mistreated. People collect these ideas and they collect friends that think like this. But what Paul is saying is, listen, I don't care what you got going on. I don't have no anticipation or expectation from you anyway, so therefore I'm not offended by you.
And this is the mentality I have in a spiritual environment, correct?
Absolutely. Because this is about a leadership position for those that desire a leadership position and want to perform good deeds. It's not just spiritual, but you have to be this way as a parent in your household. What kind of mother are you or father are you if you want all the attention?
A selfish one.
A selfish one. If you want all the attention, you want all the resources, you want everything to lean towards you. What Paul is doing is saying, listen, man, we're going to scrap this idea that because you're in a leadership position, you should have advantages. And in actuality, in a leadership position, you put yourself at a disadvantage. And you're okay with it. Yes.
But even as a parent, once you have children your whole life, after that point is to better them, to educate them, to grow them, to protect them, to help them get better, to understand and all the things. So like you should have a very selfless thought process.
It should be.
Life is surrounded by them.
Yeah, until it should be that way. Until I want something.
But it's also
Yeah.
can't do anything for you either. So
Right. It's one-sided. Until I want something though. But if I want something, because I know there's parents that they see potential in children, and they see a scholastic paycheck. What do I mean by that?
Paycheck, sports. My sister was like that with
Yeah.
Till he dropped out.
Boy, you can. Yeah. Boy, you sure can't jump. Boy, you fast. Boy, you like this. Hey, Coach, I need you to look at that video I just sent you. I just sent you a video of my son. I need you to watch that video. Tell me what you think about it. I think we got NIL deals looking at us. I think we need scholarship. We got scholarships on the way. Go ahead and check out the video that I sent you. Parents, yeah, you never know. But you know what I like about Crawford. What's his name? The boxer, the one that Terrence Crawford. You know what I like about Terrence Crawford's mother? Terrence Crawford's mother used to put gloves on, and they used to fight in the yard. And then once he got good, she would pay the neighborhood kids $10 for anybody that could beat him. So she was like, listen, if you can whoop my son, I'm going to give you $10. She'd go all through all the neighborhood. You can whoop my son, you get $10. $10 whoop my son. And she never paid out. Because he never got whooped. And he's still undefeated to this day. But the mother would say, you ain't going to be nothing. You don't let these kids whoop you. But the father would say, they play good cop, bad cop with Terrence Crawford. The father said, man, you can be anybody you want to be. I believe in you, son. The mother would be like, he ain't going to be nothing. He too weak. He too soft. She was using different tactics to agitate him, to produce a zeal and a fighting spirit.
They work together, though.
But they both work together. But now what you got a champion on your hand. Don't you know that this from paying $10 for neighborhood kids to whoop your son? I'm not saying do that. I'm not saying do that. I'm not saying pay people to beat your kids up. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying by the way that they instrumentally invested into him, They were willing to take a chance with him, investing into him. Now you got these Arabs in Abu Dhabi that just agreed to build a $2 billion stadium in Abu Dhabi and name it after Terrence Crawford.
No way. Are you
Yeah.
serious?
Yeah. He's about to get a $2 billion stadium named after him, and they're also going to offer him $1 billion for his next fight.
What?
Yes, $1 billion.
Because he said he don't want to fight no more. He said he done.
He
said
say he done. He say he done, but these Arabs are throwing it at him. They say, "Listen, man,
What's up with Ishmael, right?
they got it." But think about it. Think about a $10 investment has turned into a $3 billion investment.
We cannot not see you. We'll be big to the stadium.
Yeah, because they're making money because it generates digital betting online.
Oh wow!
Digital betting online and also ticket sales.
That's a big thing.
It's a big old. It's big commerce, man. But think about it: a $10 investment to a $3 billion investment because somebody took the time to invest in him. Somebody challenge him and put on gloves with him. Look how far that's gone in just the investment that his mother is ringside every fight. His mother's yelling the loudest. But it wasn't about the money. It was about don't let anybody, suppress you. She was instilling a fighting spirit. She didn't know he was going to end up to be him being a $1 billion athlete. She didn't know that. It was just investment, though. What's the point? The point is people want something in return, and therefore they don't give enough to let the person grow.
Wow.
I don't give enough to let the person grow, to let the person yield something positive. If I can make myself selfless and put myself in a position where I'm putting my energy into this person or to this flock, let them grow. Who knows what they'll be? The idea is that they be like Christ. So read that part again.
God, Galatians 4:12. Brethren, I beseech you, be as I am, for I am as ye are. Ye have not injured me at all.
So what is he saying? I don't look at y'all like y'all beneath me. He says, I look at y'all on the same page. I'm just like you. I don't look at myself above you. He says, I'm not offended by you. I'm not injured by you. I'm not offended by you. Read on.
God, verse 13. Ye know how through infirmity of the flesh I preach the gospel.
He says, but the Most High made me, through the infirmity of the flesh, do what?
Preach the gospel.
What is the Most High doing by making Paul teach through the infirmity of the flesh?
Insight.
Yes? I said it earlier, though. I said I'm going to go back to it. I said it earlier. I said I'm going to come back to that word. Read it again.
You know how through infirmity of the flesh I preach the gospel unto you at the first.
Why would the Most High make Paul teach in the worst possible physical condition? Nobody remember. I said it was quality control. Does anybody know what that means?
To basically have somebody that's having the purest of intentions.
Say it again.
Someone with the purest of intentions.
Say it again.
Someone with the purest of intentions.
Why would the Most High make you give yourself, deplete yourself when you're broken?
It shows you're not getting anything out of this.
There's no other motivating factors.
Say it again.
There's no other motivating factors.
There's no other motivating factors? You're not getting nothing out of it? What else?
It doesn't stroke your ego.
There's no ego stroke?
Well, something like put fires of gold and like that, infirmity and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So the more hot it gets, he wants to see what the truest intention is.
Right. Just like, okay, you use the smelting of metals. What are you trying to get when you smelt a metal? Say it again.
The purest form.
So why would the Most High make him teach while being broken? You know what stays pure? The word stays pure. You don't contaminate his word. So the Most High have you teach while you're broken so that you don't have an ulterior motive. Somebody said it earlier. So that your motives are pure. So when you deliver the word of the Most High, it's not coming because you're gaining anything. It's not coming because you're special. It's coming, the message is untainted. The message that you're giving to people is pure because it ain't got nothing to do with you. That's why the Most High will break him and still have him teach. Why does the Most High have him teaching with the infirmities of the flesh? Because he wants the message to be untainted. He wants the word to be untainted. The message is super pure when you know how to deliver the word of the Most High and your body ain't in it and you ain't got nothing to gain and it's not going to change your financial situation. It's not going to change your physical situation. It's not going to change your status. You ain't going to get no glory out of it. So guess what the Most High knows how to do? He knows how to retain the quality of the teaching. You know how he knows how to retain the quality of the teaching? Break the ones that's teaching it. That's how he keep the message pure. Break them. Break them and don't get nothing in return. Now the Most High knows that when you teach, you're coming from a pure point. There ain't get no advantage. There's no advantage coming to you. That's how the Most High keep the quality right. Yes, sir.
We did the same thing how the Most High took Ezekiel's river with him. He took his desire with him. And he told him, you better not cry, better not tear up. You still better go out there and teach the people.
Yep. Yeah. Read. Yes, sir.
And he's also like teaching Paul that, you know, he can relate to the people and what they're going through. And he can deliver the message, period. You know, in regards to what they're going through. He can relate.
Yeah.
Versus just not relating.
He could be on the same page as them.
Right.
He know what it feels like to suffer. He could be sensitive to them.
Yeah.
So you know it never changes? That the word don't change. The impact of the message don't change. Finish reading that.
Verse 14. You want 14?
Mm-hmm.
And my temptation, which was in my flesh.
It says, and my temptation was where?
In my flesh.
In my flesh.
Where was the thing that was, if there's anything that made him say, man, I wish I could get some healing right now. I wish I could get some comfort right now. I wish somebody could care about me right now. Where was that at?
It was his flesh.
It was in his flesh. But guess what? Was he getting it?
No.
He wasn't getting it. He was.
He asked twice.
He asked 3 times.
He said, nah.
He said, no, my grace is sufficient for you. Keep going. Keep going. Read.
And my temptation, which was in my flesh, you despise not.
He says, ye what? He says, ye despise not. So he says, y'all didn't judge me. Y'all didn't judge me because of the way I looked and what I was going through. Y'all still listened to my message and not the messenger. I was in a broken state, but y'all still heard me out.
So that also allows the people that he's teaching to know that he cares.
How else would they know that? Because they watching them broken.
Yeah.
Read on.
Says, and my temptation, which was in my flesh, you despise not, nor rejected.
It said, nor what?
Nor rejected.
Go ahead.
But received me as an angel of the Most High.
He said, you treated me like what?
As an angel of the Most High.
Because guess what was pure while Paul was broken?
The message.
That message was pure, bro. That was puro. That was 24 karat, man. Cause you know what? Because it had nothing to do with he was. That's why the Most High would break a leader where you don't get no benefits because you'll taint the word of the Lord. Didn't we read that the Most High said, my people twist my words every day?
They rest with words.
They rest my words? Why do we rest words? To whose benefit? To our own. So you know what the Most High does? He has the right recipe to make sure that you don't rest his words. You don't twist his words up. Where you can manipulate his word. He breaks you while you're doing it. That way, you know, there's no, the word pure means free from admixture. There's nothing mingled with the teaching. Yes, sir. Free, say it again.
Free from admixture.
Admixture. Free from admixture. That's what pure means. Free from admixture. There's no other components mixed in it other than love. That's the only reason I'm doing what I'm doing it, because I love you. I'm not doing it because I'm mad about it. I'm not doing it because I want something. The only reason why I'm doing it is love. How else would the Most High get down to the purest intent and core of a person to break their body or break them in a way where they ain't receiving nothing but they still got to give it? And we're going to explain this even further. Go to Ezekiel. Go to Ezekiel chapter 21 verse 6. But I need somebody to find
Can we explain this definition?
hold on, we're gonna get back to it.
No.
We're gonna I need somebody to read the Greek in this, the Greek or the Hebrew. I need somebody to get the Hebrew in this particular point. Ezekiel. I want you to get the definitions in Hebrew or the translation in Hebrew when we read this. Give me Ezekiel chapter 21 verse 6.
Come. Ezekiel chapter 21 verse 6 reads.
Give me verse.
Therefore.
No, give me verse. Yeah, read that.
Sigh therefore.
What did the Most High tell Ezekiel? Sigh therefore. What does it mean to sigh?
Exhale.
To exhale, right? He says, sigh therefore. He says, sigh therefore. Read.
Thou son of man.
He says, thou son of man. Read.
With the breaking of thy Lord.
What does that mean? What did the Most High do to Ezekiel? Where he said, I want you to sigh. Anybody got translation?
Definition. The sign.
No, not to sigh. Breaking of thy loins. Read that part again, my water.
Come. Sigh therefore, thou son of man, with the breaking of thy loins.
He said, I want you to sigh with the breaking of thy loins. What does he mean? What did the Most High tell him? So we can understand in 2026. What did the Most High do to Ezekiel?
Broke his
hips.
Breaking his Shabbat.
What did he do? Translation. Not the Hebrew, but the translation in English.
The translation is hips.
He did what?
He broke his hips.
What did the Most High do to Ezekiel?
Broke his hips.
Give me another definition, because there's more to it.
Destruction.
No, there's more to it in that breaking of thy loins.
With breaking?
Mm-hmm.
It says
the
crushing.
Loins. Get the loins.
What does that say?
Says,
Loins.
perhaps in the same manner.
The waist.
Oh, the waist or the small of the back?
Say it again.
Yeah.
Hold on. Say it again.
The waist or small of the back?
What's the small of your back?
That's your tailbone.
That's your tailbone. What did the Most High do to Ezekiel? You know what the tailbone is? The tailbone is the sacrum. The sacrum is the little V-shaped bone that's at the bottom of the spine. The coccyx is the tip.
It's the coccyx. Yeah.
It's the tip of the
Tailbone.
The tailbone. But that's that little bone at the bottom. But that little triangular bone that has the nerves, the biggest nerves that come through your legs, and the veins and arteries that come through your leg, they go through that small bone, and then they work its way up your spine. That's what. So when that spine is broken or that vertebrae is out of joint, you have sciatica. When any one of those nerves are pinched in that tailbone, your legs go numb, or you just got constant burning sensation or constant throbbing.
Look, I had mine was inflamed for like 5 months, and once it gets inflamed, you can't you have to drive standing up. I was in the truck driving like this because you sit down. That sharp pain was all the way through your spine, all the way down your legs, on the side of the lane.
Yeah, your legs become numb.
Yeah, you know.
I just know it's like fire ants. Like fire ants.
I'm gonna tell you this too. You also lose continency. That means you might have to have a diaper on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you that too, because you lose bowel movements and muscles that keep things in place when that goes out. So what is the Most High doing to Ezekiel? Read that part again.
Sigh therefore, thou son of man, with the breaking of thy loins.
What did the Most High do to him?
He broke his hips.
That little tailbone, like the war's going through it right now.
Yeah.
What is he doing?
Breaking that lower back.
He broke his lower back, man. What do you know how much pain that is? I remember trying to lift the washing machine up by myself. I try to strong arm it. That was a mistake. That was a mistake. I'll try to be quick. I grab the inside of the drum and I try to lift it up and put it on the truck. And that electricity went through my body. And I leaned on the truck. I tipped the machine into the truck. I just tipped it over and I didn't give a damn what happened to it. I just tipped it over there. And I got in the car, I got in the truck, and my body was twisted like this. That was the only way I could drive. I drove like this. I got 1 mile down the street. I got to the highway. I couldn't take it no more. So I pulled the truck over on the side of the highway at 110 degrees, and I laid down on the side of the highway with all the cars going by. But I couldn't get no. I couldn't sit up anymore. And we had many men in here that many brothers in here
Lay down that grass.
that lay down in that grass. Many men in here know how to, when that back go out, it's a wrap, man.
I couldn't erect myself. I had to stay down.
Yeah, you was hunched over. You couldn't even get up straight. I had to lay down on the concrete in the hot sun. I couldn't even move. I was gonna call an ambulance. I didn't. I just said I'm gonna wait. Hopefully it goes down. You can't tie your shoes. You can't sit on the toilet. You can't put your socks on. You can't put your shoes on. You can't get dressed. You feel like a cripple. What is the Most High doing with Ezekiel?
Sigh therefore, thou son of man.
He said, you got to go through it. I want you to experience this pain. Read on.
With the breaking of thy loin.
Go ahead.
And with bitterness sigh before their eyes.
What is he saying when he says with bitterness? How hurt was Ezekiel? You know what he broke his body up where he was like he said with bitterness.
Yeah. Getting up in the morning for him was pretty hard.
Why would the Most High send him through this? Read.
Verse 7. And it shall be when they say unto thee.
It said, and the Most High said, I want you to be broken, and I want you to sigh, and I'm going to put you in a whole lot of pain. And when the people see you, tell them what?
It shall be when they say unto thee, wherefore sighest thou?
What are you doing? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? What happened to you? What are you going? What you got going on? Why are you hollering with this bitter anguish? What is the problem? Tell the people what?
That thou shalt answer for the tidings.
He said, for what?
Wow.
For thou shalt answer for the tidings.
Read.
Because it cometh.
He said, because it what?
Coming.
He said, because what I'm going through is just a taste of what y'all about to go through.
Wow.
So why would the Most High break Ezekiel's back?
To be an example for the people.
That's right. Just for example.
They about to go through.
Because they're about to go through it themselves.
They about to get that lower back.
They're about to get that back broke. They're about to get that back broke. Why would the Most High do that to Ezekiel, though? I bet you that word was pure, though. I guarantee you that word was pure. That word was sputo.
Was that before he had to sit in the side or after?
Say it again?
Was that before he had to sit in the side or lay in the side or after?
I don't know. I don't know what point was this.
Oh my goodness.
But I know that it was only for example's sake that I'm gonna break your back and let you feel it, and now you gotta go tell the people why you're going through what you're going through. Because it's a demonstration of what's to come to you. So the people don't understand what being a leader is. You know what being a leader is? That means you got to endure whatever pain and still get the message across. I got to endure whatever suffering and still get the message across. And still tell people the truth. But I tell you what, if you're going through something like this type of tragedy or trauma, I guarantee you that you want the best for the people because you want the Most High to heal your situation. But the Most High does these things to leaders. Paul understands this. That's all Paul was saying in 2 Corinthians.
Oh, wow, yeah.
That's all he was saying. That's all that's happening to Ezekiel. It's quality control. Psalms chapter 35, verse 12.
Psalm 35, verse 12. They rewarded me evil for good to the spoiling of my soul.
Wow.
A sister online said that some medical professionals describe what Job was going through as fibromyalgia. And fibromyalgia is when there's no more coating on the nerves. The nerves have a sheath and a coating around it, a calcium coating, so that it does so it doesn't inflame or send signals of pain through your body unless that sheet or coating is broken or the nerve is exposed. So fibromyalgia is the natural coat that coats the nerves and that wears off. So now you have nothing but sensation of pain through all your nerves. And it's a constant 24-hour sensation that's nonstop because there's no more coating on the nerves. It's like having exposed wires, man.
Oh my goodness.
And all you feel is you feel every blood cell that go through your body. Every platelet that rub across your nerves, you feel everything.
It's like having a cracked tooth.
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
You can feel all the air.
All the air when the cold air get it, or you drink
water.
a cold drink, and that cold drink, it just burns your mouth because it's exposed. But why would the Most High do this to his prophets, to his leaders? Because it's for example's sake. You have to understand, when it comes to being a leader, you're going to have to suffer things for the people's sake, and it can't change the message. And it can't change your intention. You still have to do the work of the Lord regardless of what you're going through. And you cannot be offended at what condition or state that you're in. You got to teach through it. Because the flock are that important to the Most High. Your body now is a ransom for the work. Because it's about the flock. And read that Psalms 35 and 12. Because I think there's things that we don't understand that the Most High is expecting out of us when you take a leadership position. If you got to endure whatever, you got to deal with it. You got to deal with it and keep going. It's not comfortable, but the Most High's flock are that important to him. Read.
Psalms 35, verse 12. They rewarded me evil for good.
What also another aspect of being a leader is you got to almost know and not be offended when somebody does what?
Evil to.
They rewarded me evil for good.
What does that mean? That means when you're a leader, there's a lot of good that you're going to do, but what are you getting back?
Evil.
You're not even getting a comprehensible reward that's appropriate for what you give. You're getting something totally opposite. You're getting a totally opposite compensation. I can understand if I'm getting something of value back in return. You're not getting nothing in value in return. You're getting evil in return for good. That's complete opposite of the good that you do. But should that change your desire to do good? It shouldn't. He said what?
They rewarded me evil for good.
Read.
To the spoiling of my soul.
He said, and to the what?
To the spoiling of my soul.
What does that mean that being a leader entails? People are going to do what? People are going to spoil you. They're going to suck you dry of whatever good you bring to the table. They're going to steal away all your life force, all your zeal. They're going to suck out your desire, your will. They're going to put your willpower to the test. What does it take to be a leader? Exhaustion, depletion, pain, endurance. Say it again. Abuse. It's one-sided.
Spoiling is expiring.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Would it be a complete selflessness?
It's complete selflessness. And that's what we haven't necessarily, that's where the complaints come from. If you're a new leader or a new parent or a new mentor, that's where the complaints come in at. When am I going to get some relief? When am I going to get some comfort? When is somebody going to care about me like I care about everybody else? Well, guess what you have to understand? The Most High cares about you, and that's all that matters. Christ cares about you. That's all that matters. So, whoop-de-doo. You got to keep going. You know what it takes away? Any real excuses. There's really no, when you think about it, there's no real excuses why I can't do the work. You had your hand up?
Yeah, sorry. The scripture says you got to bear the infirmity of the weak.
Yes. That's what. And who said it? Paul said it. Paul understands this, but David is just saying, man, this dynamic is more extreme than what you think. It's one thing to expect to get some good in return. It's another thing to get evil instead of good. But that's what it means to do this job. You got to anticipate that you're going to get the total opposite of what your value is. He said, they do what for me?
They rewarded me evil for good, to the spoiling of my soul.
Go ahead.
But as for me, when they were sick.
He said, but look at what David is saying. He's saying, but as for me, I get the worst end of the stick. I get the crap end of the deal when it comes to dealing with the Most High's flock. David was a king. He said, but as for me, what?
When they were sick.
He says, look, check out this dynamic. When they were sick, what did David do?
My clothing was sackcloth.
He says, I did what? I mourned for them. I was depleted, sucked dry of spirit, got evil for good, but when they were sick, I did what?
My clothing was sackcloth.
That means I mourned for their suffering. So who was more important? Them. Read on.
I humbled my soul.
He says when they were sick, David said what?
I humbled my soul.
But I thought it was about, him at least having something. I gotta have something for me, right?
Yeah.
Does anybody have an ounce of care? An ounce of love? We should have known that when Judas didn't want to sell that oil or have that woman Mary put that oil on Christ. He said it was a waste.
Yep.
Christ said, man, can I have something? Can the Son of Man have something? You don't know what she's doing. She's blessing herself in the kingdom. She's bringing a blessing upon her head. But to the disciples, you wasted that oil. He can't get nothing. He can't get some franken myrrh.
Can't enjoy the finer things.
He can't get a douse of potpourri. But David said what?
I humbled my soul with fasting.
Go ahead.
And my prayer returned into my own bosom.
He says, and my prayer returned where?
Into mine own bosom.
So you know what David was doing? Even when he was being depleted, even when he was being used, even when there was one side of getting evil for good. When the people were sick, he humbled himself and he prayed for them. What do you call that mentality? It is meekness, but it's selfless. Dawam said it earlier. It's complete selflessness. He said, I humbled my soul with fasting and my prayer when they were sick. That means David understands it's really not about him. Paul understands it's really not about him. Ezekiel understands it's not really about him. Christ understands it's not really about him. Even Philo understands it's really not about him. Anybody that has understanding of the Bible that knows that when you get into a leadership position, it's no longer about you anymore. There's a transition. It's about the flock. It's about the people. It's about their benefit. We understand that? An example of that. Go to Amos chapter 7, verse 10. Because these are things that we don't think about when we become parents, when we become leaders, or we become teachers, or officers, or soldiers, or captains. We don't think about these things. We're still fighting for some attention. I'm still fighting for some me time. I'm still fighting for some preservation of my spirit. Still fighting for my needs. This is an aspect of leadership that we don't visit that often, personally. Amos chapter 7, verse 3.
God, Amos 7:3. The Lord repented for this.
He said what?
The Lord repented for this. It shall
I'm sorry, you know
not
what?
be.
Let me read verse 1 so that way we get some context right here.
Verse 1. Thus hath the Lord power showed unto me, and behold, he formed grasshoppers in the beginning of the shooting up of the latter growth.
What he's saying is this message that Amos is teaching is during Jeroboam II's tenure as a king. And Jeroboam II was not a good guy. But the Most High raised up Amos to be a prophet around that time frame for Jeroboam II. And Jeroboam II was not a good guy at all. Matter of fact, read that again. Read part 1. Read verse 1 again. With Amos chapter 7, verse 1.
God, Amos 7:1. Thus hath the Lord power shown unto me.
He says, the Most High showed to Amos what?
And behold, he formed grasshoppers in the beginning of the shooting up of the latter growth.
So there's the early and the latter rain, or the spring and the fall season that you reap the harvest. The Most High showed Amos this horde of locusts or grasshoppers that was about to eat up all the crops. It was about to be a famine. A famine was on the way. And the Most High prematurely showed Amos about this famine that was on the way. Right? And read.
And lo, it was the latter growth.
And there was the last growth that you're going to harvest to get you through the winter. So if you don't reap that crop, you're not going to make it through the winter.
Wow.
I mean, the store about to be empty. The pantry about to be empty. Refrigerator about to be empty. For the rest of the winter, you in trouble. So that was the last growth. So the Most High showed this to Amos. But let's get a little bit of how King Jeroboam II was. Go to Josephus. If you don't, we only need one person. Go to Josephus, book 9, chapter 10. Book 9, chapter 10, and read paragraph 1. Yep, Antiquity of the Jews. Page 259.
And what paragraph?
Paragraph 1.
God. Antiquity of the Jews, book 9, chapter 10, paragraph 1. In the 15th year of the reign of Amaziah, Jeroboam, the son of Joash, reigned over Israel and Samaria 40 years.
He said this man had a 40-year reign. Read.
This king was guilty of contumely against God.
What is contumely? Contumely. He said this king was guilty of contumely against the Most High. What is contumely?
Good question. Contumely.
That's crazy.
Harsh.
That's the case. Or reproach, compounded of haughtiness and contempt.
He says contempt, which is hatred or disgust. What else?
Contemptuousness, insolence,
Contemptuous
language.
He said he talked bad towards the Most High. He had a mouth against the Most High.
Wow.
He said this king was guilty of talking crazy to the Most High.
Criticisms or insults that show a lack of respect.
He had no respect for the Most High.
I got another one.
What you got?
It's the definition. It's the same definition, but it's contemptuous. It's haughtily, reproachful, contemptuous, rude, and sarcastic.
I'm rude and sarcastic towards the Most High. So this king was guilty of that. So read it again.
God, in the 15th year of the reign of Amaziah, Jeroboam, the son of Joash, reigned over Israel and Samaria 40 years. This king was guilty of contumely against God.
Talking real prideful and boastful against the Most High with no respect. Read.
And became very wicked and worshiping of idols.
Go ahead.
And in many undertakings that were absurd and forward.
Man, this dude was doing all kind of wickedness in Israel. He was experimenting with all kind of wickedness. He said that was absurd, which is foolish, and foreign, which he was going out of his way to be wicked.
Wow.
He was introducing new forms of wickedness in Israel. Read.
he was also the cause of 10,000 misfortunes to the people of Israel.
He said this man was behind how many misfortunes?
10,000.
This man was a straight violator. It was a violator of the commandments. Completely with no piety whatsoever. Completely impious towards the Most High. No reverence, no respect for the Most High. And so the Most High brought up Amos for what purpose? Now let that go and let's go back to Amos chapter 7 and then read that in verse
1 again?
verse 1.
Top of 1. Amos 7:1. Thus hath the Lord power shown unto me, and behold, he formed grasshoppers in the beginning of the shooting up of the latter growth.
So the Most High showed him a vision. Read.
And lo, it was the latter growth after the king's moldings.
Go ahead.
And it came to pass that when they had made an end of eating the grass of the land, then I said, O Lord power, forgive, I beseech thee.
He said, O Lord power, do what?
Forgive.
Go ahead.
I beseech thee.
So who begged for Jeroboam's forgiveness?
Amos.
Amos did. Amos said, don't bring this curse and don't bring this plague upon this king. He's pleading for him. He's praying for him. He said, forgive his mistakes. Man, it said, and Josephus, he said he was guilty of 10,000 misfortunes. And he said, Lord, forgive him. Do what? Do what else?
By whom shall Jacob, I beseech thee, by whom shall Jacob arise?
It says, who else going to lead these people? Read.
For he is small.
Read on.
The Lord repent for this.
He says, what happened?
The Lord repented for this.
Go ahead.
It shall not be, saith the Most High.
So what did the Most High do when Amos pleaded for wicked Jeroboam II? He turned the curse away. He turned the curse away. If it wasn't for Amos's prayer, if it wasn't for Amos's plea for forgiveness, if it wasn't for Amos being humble, beseeching the Most High to forgive him and let it slide, the curse wouldn't have went away. Think about Amos's position. You're pleading for the people's forgiveness. Pleading for their mistakes, specifically the king. Jump down to verse 10.
Verse 10. Then Amaziah, the priest of Bethel, sent to Jeroboam, king of Israel, saying, Amos had conspired against thee in the midst of the house of Israel.
Now you got the wicked prophets you got this wicked prophet Amaziah that was a chief priest of the temple of Baal in Bethel. They had a golden calf in Bethel. So he was a priest of the golden calf. And what was he doing what was he telling Jeroboam?
Excuse me.
Verse 10.
Verse 10. Then Amaziah, the priest of Bethel, sent to Jeroboam, king of Israel, saying, Amos hath conspired against thee in the midst of the house of Israel.
So what is he saying? What information is he bringing to the king?
He's falsely accusing him.
He's accusing him of he said he's falsely accusing him that he's conspiring against him. That's treason. He's saying he's guilty of treason. He deserves death. He's trying to destroy your position. Read on.
The land is not able to bear all his words.
It says, and the people are suffering from his teaching. We can't stand his message. But in actuality, what was his message?
His message was good.
His message was forgiveness.
He turned the Most High's wrath away from the king.
So what as a leader, what must you understand that's gonna happen to all your good intent?
You're gonna receive evil for it.
You're gonna get evil for it. People are gonna accuse you falsely when you step into the shoes of a leader. You have to prepare yourself for that. People are gonna accuse you falsely and twist and turn the narrative of what you're doing and your intention. They're gonna make up an accusation that's not even true. You have to prepare yourself for that as a leader. Read.
Verse 11. For thus Amos said, Jeroboam shall die by the sword, and Israel shall surely be led away captive out of their own land.
It was a warning. It was a warning if Jeroboam didn't repent. But did it actually happen though? No, because Jeroboam II ruled for 40 years. Nothing ever happened to him. So it was just a warning. So what did the people do with the warning that Amos gave?
Good question.
They took it and they twisted it. And they used it as an accusation.
That's bad.
And to eliminate him.
This is a crazy dynamic, guy.
This is what's going to happen when you start stepping into leadership positions. People are not going to want to hear what you have to say, and because they don't want to hear what you have to say, they're going to twist your intentions.
Even if you're benefiting.
Even when you're benefiting them.
That's crazy.
Even when you're saving their skin. Wow. Even when you're pulling off the Most High's wrath off their shoulder.
That's almost like a class on its own, because that information's, I think a lot of men experience that in different ways and don't know how to digest that reality.
Yeah.
And then what it does, it makes men have this double thinking mentality where they, I don't know if this is worth it. Comes into conscious.
Yeah, because look at what I'm getting in return for all my
I
good.
thought that if I was going to serve Christ, I thought at least, that's the conversation, at least I get this.
Yeah.
I'm getting double the negative for the good I do. You're getting twice the negative in return.
You're getting evil in return.
Yeah. It's expected, but it's not accepted.
It's not easily swallowed.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's easier to read about it than to actually be in that position where you've actually done people some good.
Yeah.
You've actually mourned for their losses.
Yeah.
You've actually prayed for their forgiveness. You've actually asked the Most High to not let them be punished. And they take all your good and they twist it and they accuse you of something of a fault that you didn't deserve.
You're the object of infamy for whatever happens in their life. Whatever happens that's bad in their life from their own doing, somehow, some way, you're like there's a string attached to it. It all goes back to you're the source.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
That's the same thing that they did to Christ when they hung him on the cross. When they I forgot the dude that was the governor over them, but he gave a choice between Barabbas and Jesus. Which one y'all want?
Yeah.
And I remember you brought the point out that he was pretty much in on it behind closed doors, but the people chose Christ over a murderer.
No, they chose the murder over Christ, right?
No. They chose Christ to be put to death.
They
let Barabbas go free. You said it right. You said it right the first time.
Okay.
They chose Christ to be put to death over Barabbas.
Right.
And they let Barabbas go free for the one that had all the best intention for him. You know what that means as a leader? You can have the best intention for your people. You could have a healthy desire to want to see your people succeed. And guess what you're going to get in return? They're going to spit on your efforts, man. They're going to spit on what you do good.
That's just a part of the...
That's a part of the job.
That's part of the course right there.
That's a part of the job. That's part of the course, so to speak.
Yeah.
That's a part of the experience. That's a part of the lesson. Yes, sir.
And that's when the thoughts come, well, this, logically speaking, I obviously made the wrong choice. Because this can't be the work of God.
Yeah.
I'm getting this kind of reaction in return. Something must be wrong here.
I'm getting all this kickback for my good deeds. Then won't I go somewhere where I'm appreciated?
That's the next step.
Because that's always the next question. Since I'm not appreciated here, won't I go somewhere I'm appreciated? Yeah. That's not what the Most I want from you.
No, I'm celebrated, not tolerated.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's
people say now.
People say those sayings, right?
Yeah.
Go where you're celebrated, not tolerated.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? The Most I want you to go through.
Oh man.
Go where you're persecuted.
Yeah. It's a tough one, bro.
That's what we don't understand. What being a leader means you fall in certain shoes where you got a bullseye on you, even though you were praying for people, even though you were mourning for people, even though you were asking the Most High for forgiveness for these individuals. The same ones that you're trying to petition the Most High for to remove his anger from is the same ones that are angry at you. This is a valuable lesson in leadership. It's best that you learn it now so that when you see it, it's no surprise. Or it doesn't move you a certain way to make you want to quit.
It can shock you. Like if you're not prepping your mind or aware that like this information ain't being brought out, it can catch people off guard. Bro. It's almost like that. I didn't know it was like this type of spirit.
Yeah, I didn't know what I was getting myself into.
Yeah.
Well, what does it mean to be like Christ? What does that mean? That means people got to take your good and twist it for evil. And they're going to blame you. They're going to blame you for all their issues. Even though you've done everything right that you could by them, that you could possibly do for what you can control. You sent up every prayer you could. You sat and mourned and reduced yourself to ashes for the hopes that they could see the light. So that maybe the Most High could open their eyes up. Maybe they'll appreciate. Maybe they can see the Most High. Maybe they'll change. Maybe they'll repent. Forgive them, Lord, even if they did offend. And guess what they do? They turn around and they rend you.
Yeah.
They tear you to pieces. And go. And what do you do? What do you do? How do you deal with this? Do you stop teaching? Do you stop believing?
It goes there though.
Do you say, I renounce my position as a leader? I don't want to be a leader anymore. If this is the details of the job, I don't want to be a leader anymore.
And Satan got you want it.
Yeah. You keep that soldier's test. I don't want that soldier's test. I don't want that soldier's test. It comes with too much. You don't understand what it comes with. It comes with a crown of glory. If you could become familiar with the antics of your people, if you don't let the antics of your people get under your skin,
That's true.
if you can remain patient and temperate,
It's facts, bro.
and understand this is just a part of the job.
Yeah.
Getting good and evil for good is a part of the job. Yes, sir. I thought you wanted to say something. So, read on in Amos, chapter 7. Jump up to verse 4.
Verse 4. Thus hath the Most High power showed unto me, and behold, the Lord power called to contend by fire.
And the Most High was getting fed up with Jeroboam II. He said, I'm going to just deal with him by fire. What does that mean? I'm just going to burn him up. The Most High was on the verge of burning Jeroboam II up.
He wasn't playing, he meant that literally.
He was going to smoke him. Literally. Literally smoke him. He said, I'm gonna burn him by fire. Read.
And it devoured the great deep, and did eat up a part.
So he saw that in the vision. What did Amos do when he saw that vision? The coming danger on Jeroboam. Read.
Then said I, O Lord power, cease.
He said what?
Then cease.
Cease means stop. What did Amos do for Jeroboam, wicked Jeroboam II?
He stopped the wrath of the Most High.
He said, please, Lord, cease. Stop. He begged him to stop. Please don't take it out on him. He saw his doom coming in a vision. He said, Lord, please cease. Don't do it. Change your mind. Read on.
Cease, I beseech thee.
I'm begging you. Read.
By whom shall Jacob arise?
You used him as a leader. Can keep using him then. Keep using his hands. Read on.
For he is small.
Have pity on the nation.
That's true.
Have pity on the nation. We need his help. What did Amos do for Jeroboam? He salvaged him. He saved him. And you know what you get in return when you do so? What do you get in return? Let's go to Psalms chapter 109.
Come. Psalms chapter 109.
Give me verse, let me get it. Read verse 3.
Come. Psalms chapter 109 and verse 3 reads, They compass me about also with words of hatred.
It said, what do you get when you try to do right by your people?
Compass me about also with words of hatred.
You're going to get hated, man, and you got to be okay with it. You can't let the hate of the people shake you, because you have a job to do. Our job as leaders is to suffer it. Everybody's not going to like you for what you do, for what you say, because you're giving them the truth. They don't want to hear your words, and they'll hate you for it. They're going to thumbs down you, whatever. It don't matter. I don't care about all that. Read on.
And fought against me without a cause.
It says, and people will fight against you, what?
Without a cause.
Without a reason. They're going to hate you for no reason.
Or make something.
Read on.
For my love, they are my adversaries.
It says, for my love for you, they are my what?
Adversaries.
Read on.
But I give myself unto prayer.
He said, but what do I do for them?
But I give myself unto prayer.
What does David do for the people that hate him?
But I give myself unto prayer.
Now, you may read it and think that he's just praying when he gets hit up by angry people or hateful people. But what he's saying is he's actually praying for these people. When people hate him, the more they hate him, the more he prays for them. Can we do that as leaders? The more disgust you get from the sheep, can you actually turn around and pray for them? It's part of the job. How do we know David prayed for him and not just set up a prayer for himself? I'm being hated on. How do you know David prayed for him? He says, I do what?
But I give myself unto prayer, and they have rewarded me evil for good.
How do you know he was praying for him?
They gave him something back.
Because they gave him something back. What did he get in return?
Evil.
What did he get for all his prayers?
Injury.
That's how you know he wasn't setting up a separate prayer for himself. He was getting hated and despised upon, and he was sending up prayers for them. Just like Amos sent up prayers for Jeroboam. I'm praying for these sick souls. I'm praying for these sheep, even though they hate me. They despise me without cause. He said, I'm praying for them, and what else?
And they have rewarded me evil for good.
Go ahead.
And hatred for my love.
And they reward me what?
Hatred.
Hatred for my love.
So was he praying for them or not?
He was praying for them.
He was obviously praying for them.
He had enough love to pray for him.
You got the proper response.
Yeah, he got the biblical response.
Yeah.
So as a leader, because the class is called a pocket manual for gaining the leadership position. These are things that you got to keep and hold on to when you are aspiring to be a leader in this body.
People want to look at this and like, no, where's the glory? Where's the power?
Where's the shine?
Where's the shine? Where's the benefits? Where's the
accolades?
Where's the good part of this?
The notoriety.
Yeah, I want something. I need to feel a little ego power behind this. I mean, I'm doing this, but where are the perks?
Or when is it? When do I see the benefits,
Perks.
and how do I know it's going to be worth my time? When is it going to be starting to be worth my time?
Yeah,
and worth my investment.
Yeah.
You know when it's worth your investment? When you see the sheep change. When you see them repent. That's when it's worth it. But until then, you suffer. Until then, you're falsely accused. Until then, you're hated on. Until then, you're despised. Read on.
Come, verse 6. Set thou a wicked man over him.
And what does David do? He said, man, put a wicked man over him then. I can't, you know what? They don't appreciate me. Let the Most High deal with him. I'm not going to do nothing. I'm going to keep praying for him.
Let them see who true enemy is.
Let them see who the real bad guy is. They think I'm the bad guy. There's a guy worse than me.
Yeah.
Who is that? Read on.
Set thou a wicked man
Go ahead.
over him, and let Satan stand at his right hand.
You think I'm bad? Put the real bad guy on his right hand.
Yeah.
Because they say hello to my little friend. You know, the sister said it's hard to pray for people who hurt me, but it gets easier and easier the more I do it. I actually feel relieved when I let it go. It may take time, but keep trying. Yeah, it's true. It don't feel. You know, it's hard. It is hard to do to pray for people that despise you, that want you gone.
Easier said than done.
Yeah, of course. Do you know how composed you have to be
Talking light about
to not to, do you know how composed you have to be to not want to strangle people?
That's true.
Do you know how composed you have to be?
You don't always win. That's a tough one, bro.
That's tough, man. But our people don't know how to be in Christ. Our people don't know how to pattern themselves after Christ. Because this is what it means to pattern yourself after Christ. To set Christ as a template. Paul knows how to do it. David knows how to do it. Ezekiel knows how to do it. Amos knows how to do it. When are we going to learn how to do it?
And is that in itself, when Scripture says the Most High is a man of war, that process of trying to obtain that kind of composure, that is a fight.
Oh, yeah, it's a fight.
It's supposed to be a battle.
Yes.
And that's the nature of what it's supposed to feel like anyway.
Well, you need reminders.
Yeah.
You know how quick you forget to tame yourself and put yourself under submission and not want to let your anger go and to quench your anger and retain it and hold it in or even your words. To not say what you really want to say.
Isn't that a lust? Like that's to satiate that desire?
Yeah.
That's more so than a lust, right?
It is a lust, but malice is a lust of the flesh. Anger is a lust of the flesh. Pride is a lust of the flesh. Ill intent, which is malice, that's a lust of the flesh. Hatred, all these are lusts of the flesh. But how do I keep that in when I see people? I see what you're doing. It's obvious that you hate me. It's obviously that you're disgusted with me. But I can't. I got to control my tongue. I got to control what I want to say in return. I got to hold it in. And I got to let it go. Instead of hating on you in return, I'm going to pray for you. Instead of getting angry, I'm going to say, Lord, forgive them. That's strong. That's what real strength is as a leader. Let's get back to Amos. We're going to finish it up.
Amos chapter 7.
Read verse 10. Verse 11. Verse 11.
Verse 11. For thus Amos said, Jeroboam shall die by the sword, and Israel shall surely be led away captive out of their own land.
Read on.
Also, Amaziah said unto Amos, O thou seer.
He said, O thou seer. What?
Go.
He said what?
Go.
He said, what do people, when you start teaching people the truth, and they don't like what they hear, what they going to tell you?
Go. O thou seer. Go.
Get out of here. Get out of my face, man.
Yeah.
Get away from me. People don't hear the truth. And when people hear the truth, sometimes their response is, get out of my face. Get away from me. Leave. You can leave.
Yeah.
I'm done. That's what you're going to get. Read.
Go. Flee thee away into the land of Judah.
Go somewhere else, man. Get out of Bethel. Go to the land of Judah. Read.
And there eat bread.
And then go get your bread over there. You know what people do when they don't want to hear you? When they're disgusted with you. You know what people do? They think they can read your mind.
Yeah.
That's what people do. You know, and I'll explain it. When people are offended at you, and when you have all the good intent in the world, you have all the desire to see them well, they become instant mind readers all of a sudden. All of a sudden, they become like 20/20 vision, X-ray vision, Magneto. They can read your brain waves. This is what people do. Why would Amaziah tell him, go to Judah and eat your bread over there?
What's it about?
There's a reason why he's doing that.
It's like pride and offense together, which makes it possible for a person to think that they could read your mind.
It's pride, but what is it though? What is it? I'm going to read it right here. It says, Psychological projection is an unconscious process where an individual transfers their own unacceptable emotions, thoughts, or actions onto someone else. It's also known as blame shifting.
Yeah.
A conscious, think about it. Amos was praying for Jeroboam II, but the wicked priest said he was plotting your downfall. He was trying to supplant you. He says, this definition of this projection, a conscious or semi-conscious act of redirecting blame for one's own mistakes onto others, often to maintain a positive self-image. Did Amaziah like what Amos was saying? He said earlier, he says, the land is not able to bear all his words. So, what was Amos going at when he was going at the wickedness that was going on in Bethel? He was going at who? He was going at whose pride?
Amaziah's pride.
He was going at Amaziah's pride. So what do people do when you tell them the truth and they don't like to hear the truth because you've damaged their confidence, you've damaged their self-worth with the truth. Now they got a hole and a void in there because you took that pride, you hit that pride a little bit.
Yeah.
So what do people do in return to try to restore their self-image? How?
Projecting accusation.
Right.
Because that's the only way to do it. You can't really block when a person's telling you something that is truthful, valuable, clear, and useful information that's spot on, or at least 80%. I use the percentages, man. 78%. Majority of the point, they're hitting the nail on the head to the majority of the point, right? The only defense is to say, what about you? Or to take the information, spin it back and say, no, this is what you are. So, it's kind of like you're trying to neutralize the quote unquote attack. Let me neutralize your statement with another statement, but it's just the opposite of what you're saying.
Right. That one?
I would say you deny the flip.
Boom. This is called DARVO. That's what this is called. DARVO is an acronym. It stands for deny, attack, reverse victim, and offender.
It's on a reverse card.
It's on a reverse card. Once you reveal somebody's intention with the truth, because the truth uncovers intentions.
Yeah.
Once you hit somebody with the truth and they don't accept it, then they start playing this DARVO, this acronym. Deny, attack, reverse victim, and offender. Is a specific manipulative tactic where the perpetrator accuses the victim of being the abuser. So now I'm switching roles. You're the abuser. I'm the victim.
You're hurting me.
You're hurting me. This is a natural psychology of people when you hit them with the truth. And you reveal and manifest their devious plots and plans. Now all of a sudden, you're the bad guy. Or they just reverse it. Oh, you're trying to do this. So now, yes, sir.
That's that exposing I was talking about.
Yeah.
Someone gets exposed. In fact, when people get exposed, the first thing that comes to them is anger.
Yeah. But then so that they can patch their self-image back up. They gotta patch themselves back up because you put a hole in them with the truth. Because you told them the truth. So now they gotta flip it. And buy them time to say, no, you're the problem. Now I gotta flip it on you real quick.
That exonerates me from being in the court of judgment.
Right. Or I don't have to swallow the reality of what you just said. I don't have to accept what you said. So now with that understanding, now let's go back to Amos chapter 7 and read verse 12.
Amos 7:12. Also Amaziah said unto Amos, O thou seer, go, flee ye away into the land of Judah, and there eat bread.
And do what?
And there eat bread.
So obviously, for him to reverse this role and to try to tell him to leave, then what was Amaziah doing in his position? Anybody? No. For for Amaziah to tell Amos after the truth was brought out. And he said, leave, go to the land of Judah and eat bread. There eat bread. What does he mean? What's another word for bread?
Partake.
No. What's another regular word for bread? No. Money.
Oh.
What did it expose? What did the truth do to expose Amaziah? That demonic high priest.
His job was no longer needed.
His job was about feeding himself. What he's saying is, he accused him. Yes, sir.
Like building, he was more focused on building his resources. The grid is also a form of your resource, building up your stock, your household, what helps you gain, what makes you powerful, what gives you a status. He's more concerned about what's making him better, or better in his circumstance than others.
So when he told him, yes, sir.
No, I said he looked at it like you trying to take my money. Why don't you go and pay
Bingo. You messing up my money. This is my corner. This is like drug dealers do. This my corner. This my block. You got to get your own block. Your baller block. But that wasn't his intention. But this is what people do naturally when you hit them with the truth. They try to reverse it and they become mind readers, but it's really their guilt talking. Because what was his angle? That was his angle. You messing up my money. It wasn't for no other reason than he exposed himself by accusing Amos. That's what people do to you when you hit them with the truth. They accuse you of really what they're doing. Don't people that's cheating assume that you're cheating first? Don't people that's not showing some fidelity? Don't they start to question your whereabouts? Well, why they start questioning your whereabouts?
The conscience.
Take the spotlight off of
To take the spotlight off. That's what people do. It's gaslighting. It's deny, attack, reverse, victim, and offender. It's the projection game that people play. Soon as you start pinpointing people's issues, then people start flipping the card on you. Then they start accusing you. But then they start mind reading. I know what you're doing. You're trying to mess my money up. He's not trying to mess his money up. He's trying to save the king. Well, he did save the king twice. He's trying to preserve the king. But the priest is like, listen, man, go to Judah and get your bread. This is my bread over here.
This is my hustle.
This is my house. This is my corner. This is my corner spot. He exposing himself. Thank you. That's what people do, bro. We're going to prove it more. Keep reading.
God, go, flee away to the land of Judah, and there eat bread, and prophesy there.
Go ahead.
But prophesy not again anymore at Bethel.
He said, but don't come around these parts, man.
On my block.
No, that's my spot.
It's my corner.
It's my corner. It's my trap. It's my trap. You're messing my bread up.
Wow.
You trying to you say you ain't finna take over my spot. It's my spot. Yeah, man.
His whole position is kind of out of it, bro.
You know, it's like that brother on
That's
YouTube that from St. Louis. He wearing that red looked like a polo sweater. They asked him, "What do you do for a living?" "I do homicides and robberies."
Wow.
I don't know if y'all see that video. Don't watch it, man. It's horrible, man. He said, "What you do for a living?" "I do homicides and robberies."
That's a job, man?
It said, "Tell us about this guy that went missing." He said he owed me some money. He told him to give my money back. I gave him some pure white. He didn't give my money back. I told him, don't take it if you ain't gonna give my money back. But anyway, watch too much damn YouTube. But people will kill you when they think you messing with their money or messing with their hustle, or when you expose their hustle. When you expose their hustle, now they want to get rid of you. And so that's what happens when you hit people with the truth. You expose their real intent. And then they immediately become the victim and you're the offender. You're the abuser now. The roles just reverse. That's a tactic and a strategy that people do not to be guilty. I'll do anything but be guilty. I'll switch our roles and say it was you. I say it was you trying to take the king's bread. When really in actuality, Amaziah is the one stealing the king's bread. And he's eating off his position. And he's trying to kick Amos out. Read on.
13. But prophesy not again anymore at Bethel, for it is the king's chapel.
This is our whereabouts. You're around princes and priests. This is how we make a living. Read on.
And it is the king's court.
So, how do you know that he was accusing him wrongly and he tried to reverse the cards on it? You just want our spot. You just want our bread. You just want our money. You want our position. Look at Amos's response. Read on.
Verse 14. Then answered Amos and said to Amaziah, I was no prophet.
He said, man, listen, I don't want your position. I'm not trying to be no priest. He said, I wasn't even a prophet. What does he mean by that? Amos is saying, I didn't go to the school of the prophets. At this time, there was a school of the prophets. Y'all remember the school of the prophets that Elisha was in charge of, feeding the 50 men, the 2 sets of 50 men in caves?
That one that funded it? That one broke trying to fund it?
That man died funding the school? There was a school, an underground school of the prophets. But Amos is saying that I didn't come from that. I didn't come from the school of the prophets. I didn't go to school for that. That wasn't something I chose. I didn't want to be. That wasn't my goal. Read.
I was no prophet.
Go ahead.
Neither was I a prophet's son.
He said, neither was I following the family business. I didn't come from the family business. We weren't prophets. That wasn't my family business. That wasn't. Say it again.
I didn't aspire for that.
Yeah, I didn't aspire for that. I wasn't passing down the tradition of the family business, and I was next in line to run the family business of being a prophet. He said, I didn't come from that. He said, that wasn't my aspirations. That wasn't my goal. That wasn't my career path. That wasn't my family business. That's not something that was passed down to me, and I inherited this prophet position. What is he saying? Read on.
But I was a herdman.
He said, what I was doing, I was minding my business doing what?
A herdman.
I was just herding these animals. That's all he was. He said I was a herdman. I'm not trying to sit in the king's palace. I'm not trying to take your spot. I'm not trying to be in the limelight and rub elbows with the who's who of the priesthood. He said I was minding my animals. You assume because I told you the truth, and the truth was a threat to your posterity. So you assume I wanted your bread. You assumed I wanted your position. You assumed you became this false mind reader. That's what people do when you hit them with the truth. You assumed all these things. You raised an accusation, a false accusation against me. That's what people do when you hit them with the truth. All these falsehoods come out of nowhere. All these fake narratives come out of nowhere. All this phony mind reading comes out of nowhere. People swear they can read your mind and know your intentions, and they don't know nothing. All Amos is saying is, listen, man, I didn't want to be with. I don't want your spot. I don't want your spot. I don't want what you got. I don't want to be with y'all where y'all are. He said I was minding my business with the herds. I was a herdsman. What else?
But I was a herdman and a gatherer of sycamore fruit.
And a gatherer of sycamore fruit. They say I was a fruit picker. You know who picked fruit in America?
Somebody who ain't in your business.
Issachar picked fruit in America. You know who keep the stores fed with produce, even here in Texas. You know all the fruits and vegetables in Texas that we get it's fresher than Walmart, because all of our fruits and vegetables come from the valley.
Yeah.
And what's in the valley? In South Texas. Who's picking all them onions? Who's picking the potatoes? Who's picking the tomatoes? It's known as a job of people that are in a low condition. It's actually one of the lowest paying fruit pickers, vegetable pickers are one of the lowest paying jobs in a society. Even back then, Amos said he came from that. They say sycamore fruit was fig-like, and it was similar to a mulberry tree. And they say the only people that picked sycamore fruit was people of the lowest social order in society, people that was on the bottom. What is Amos saying? He said that. He said, "Listen, I was comfortable with where I was. I was comfortable what I was doing. I wasn't thriving and aspiring to be sitting in no king's palace, trying to eat king's food, trying to eat king's table.
Live king life.
Yeah, he said I wasn't doing that. He said, man, I didn't come from the prophets. I wasn't trained to be a prophet. Why is all these accusations coming at him though? And he has to clarify himself, because that's what people do when you hit them with the truth. They immediately start accusing you of everything, because it really reveals what's faulty in them. Read on.
15. And the Lord took me as I followed the flock.
He said, who picked me out to do this job?
The Most High.
He said, man, the Most High took me while I was following the flock. While I was herding these animals, the Most High picked me from being a herdsman. Just like the Most High picked David. Just like the Most High picked Saul. Say again?
Moses too,
yeah, Moses, when he was feeding the sheep in the high mountain. The Most High take men from the lowest social order to rebuke the highest social order. Men that don't want to be in those positions. They have no desire to be in those positions. Men that are comfortable with whatever they get. He said, the Most High chose me for this position. Read.
Middle of 15. And the Lord said unto me, go, prophesy unto my people Israel. Now therefore, hear thou the word of the Lord.
But since you want to accuse me, since I'm already guilty in your eyes, and I'm already despised, and also because you're lying on me now I got another word for you. Read on.
Now therefore, hear thou the word of the Lord. Thou sayest, prophesy not against Israel, and drop not thy word against the house of Isaac.
Since you don't want to hear what I got to say, I got a new message for you. Read on.
Therefore, thus saith the Lord, thy wife shall be an harlot in the city.
He said, guess what?
Yeah.
So now guess what? The Most High got a new word for you. Your wife going to be a whore in the city. Did you know that was coming? Did you see that coming? Since you're such a mind reader, since you're such an accuser, what is he saying? What he's showing you is, when you're in a leadership position, the responses that you're going to get from people, you got to expect this as a response from people. They're going to blame you unjustly. They're going to accuse you falsely. They're going to make up a narrative to hide their disguise, to hide their intention. So you will be hated. You will be plagued and get evil in return for your good deeds. But all we are is vessels that the Most High is using to send his message. So I shouldn't take it personal. That's why I shouldn't be angry while I'm doing my job. Neither should I be trying to manipulate some resources while I'm doing my job. Because ultimately what it's about is me getting this word across so that the people can change, so that the people can repent. And that's what it's about. And with that, we're going to say shalom. We'll go ahead and end class on that note. We're going to go ahead and say shalom. We'll see you again on Friday at the Water for Watching. And Dawiyah got class again. He'll be edifying the body of Christ on Friday. All right? So with that, shalom, everybody, for watching. I hope your families are doing well. And we'll see you again on the Shabbat. Shalom. Shalom.